And welcome to Sneak Speak. You know, every time I get ready to say that, I almost say sneak peek. But that would have been too cliche. You know what I mean, Matt? That would have been too much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is our inaugural kicking off Sneak Speak so that Matt Connarton, who's going to be joining us here in just a second, is able to say, oh, here's what's going on ipmNation this week or week. And then it's almost like a TV guide. If you're old enough as me, or you remember the TV guide, this will be everything going on ipmNation.com. Matt and I will hang out Sunday evenings and then go, hey, here's what I'm thinking. This is what we can do. Here's what's going to go on all week long on ipmNation so that we can start getting the word out there about your content, about your very creative form of entertainment, and we can go from there. So without further ado, joining us. Now, I should say next week, we're going to be doing this all video as well, so you'll be able to actually see Matt's smiling face. Joining us now, from the wonder of telephone, Matt Connarton from ipmNation.com. Matt, how are you, brother?
Well, hello, Brian. I'm well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. You know, I have to tell you, I was a little nervous. My heart was pounding a little bit because this evening, you know, I've been doing it for so long that I didn't know how to introduce this thing without going, you know, live from New York. It's Saturday night. You know, when you watch it that many times, you know, I can't count on myself anymore. I think that's what it boils down to. But Matt, how are you? And what are you thinking about Sneak Speak?
No, I think it's a great concept. I mean, it's you know, it was your idea, but no, I think it's great. I think you know, we have a lot of programming here on ipmNation, a lot of different kinds of stuff, and a lot of people might not realize all the different kinds of shows that we have. You know, we have 3 live channels going.
Sure.
And, you know, and a lot of on-demand programming, and we've got, you know, you're the number one show and have been for a very long time now with All Natural Being. But we got all kinds of stuff on here.
I'm very excited about it. And I think a part of it, to be honest with you, Matt, is just sensing that maybe other people don't know exactly what's going on over here on ipmNation.com. And as you say, 3 channels now, ipmNation 1, ipmNation 2, and also ipmNation.com/TR now for transitional radio. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. And I think that if more people learned about what was going on, we'd be in a better way.
Yes, yes. And it's a great opportunity for the hosts to participate. I think we're gonna have one joining us shortly. It's a great opportunity for the other hosts because we've got, I think we have over 100 different hosts and co-hosts and producers and all kinds of people. You know, it's an opportunity for them to really kind of share with the audience and with the other hosts too. You know, maybe book some guests from some of the other shows if they want to. You know, it's an opportunity for them to kind of tell everybody what it is that they're doing. Like I said, I mean, we have such a variety here. You know, we've got comedy, we've got politics, we've got, I mean, we've got, well, comedy and politics kind of go together in a way, but...
well, in this day and age, they sure do.
And within the realm of politics, of course, too, you know, we have, because a lot of places where you find politics, that, you know, you'll just find one particular ideology, and we have, you know,
sure.
We have liberal shows, we have conservative shows, we have libertarian shows, we have all kinds of shows. No, but there's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of, you know, just general sort of, you know, we have the morning show, which is, you know, well, basically a comedy show, but the point being, we've got something for everybody. We really do.
And that's why I thought that if we could use, and as you know, it's brought to you by our good friends at Telestream's Wirecast, but if we could use some of the technologies that exist now in terms of broadcasting live video, taking multiple calls, as you're going to learn. If you're a host and you want, oh, look at this. I was even going to give the number out. I was going to say 833-MINDUPS, MINDUPS. But let's take this quick call, see who we have. Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Sneak Speak. Who's with us?
This is Matt Nisenoff, and I'm host of the show, one of the hosts of the show called PolitiPod on ipmNation Live 2.
Hi, Matt. It's nice to meet you. I'm sure you and Matt know each other, but it's nice. It's nice to meet you, brother. How are you?
A pleasure to meet you as well, and I am well. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. So we were just saying, Matt, that what we hope to grow here with Sneak Speak is just like, for example, Matt's calling in now, and he'll tell us what he's working on for this week. You know, he gives us the time he's going to be, the day, the time he's going to be on, but also what are some of the things going on behind the scenes, so that if you're a listener, right? If you're, I was going to say a follower, a listener, valued follower, listener, you have an idea of what Matt goes through, little behind the scenes, what he goes through to get his programming up and ready to go each week. Matt, what do you think of that?
I was just thinking it's funny that I mentioned, comedy and politics together, and that's really what Matt's show is, PolitiPod. It's political humor.
Very cool.
It is, and Matt was also saying that there's different perspectives given on ipmNation, and we are a perspective that's from the left, from the Democratic side. And we offer a different set of things during the show. So we have sketches, short sketches that we put together. We have groups of one-liners that are put together by our writing team. And we have sometimes interviews. We bring in folks, if we can, we'll bring in folks who are interesting, or comedians, or from either comedian or the political world. So that's something that gets into the rotation as well. And
very cool.
We also have little brief, like weather report-like reports for elections that are going on.
Oh, wow.
One of the things that one of the reasons for the show is there was an idea that you always hear about elections. You hear about big elections all over from everybody. But there are elections going on constantly in America, and nobody talks about them.
Sure.
So what if there were a way to sort of give a heads up on the more local or the state or the ballot questions that are going out just in between the big presidential elections? So there's those weather report type things that say, hey, here's something going on in California, in Colorado, in Texas. Make certain that you vote.
So like a political meteorology, Matt, right?
Exactly.
Well, that sounds like a lot of work. I got to tell you, brother, right? For me, for All Natural Being, I'm lucky if I get down here 10 minutes before the show goes on. But I would imagine for you, there's so much to report. So many different votes, or as you say, ballot issues or other things going on around the country. It's going to take some time to sift through all that, I would think.
There it is. You are absolutely right about that. There's a lot to go through, and we do our best to try to keep up. Of course, we're not the ultimate source that has every single thing, but we do try to get out there, make certain that we cover as best we can, and do a little bit of outreach to the Board of Elections or Departments of Elections or Divisions of Elections, depending on what part of the country you're from, and to try to keep on top of it as best we can. So something is there, some information, and of course you can always check with them for your local elections office for better details. But at least we try to get something out there, just so that it sort of shakes folks' heads into thinking, wow, okay, so there is something going on this week, and there is something going on down at the polling place.
And then, Matt, if I can ask you, do you also take some calls or people from the other side of the political spectrum, so that there's not so much banter, but there's at least some dialogue back and forth? Suppose, right, you're a middle-of-the-road type of person. Do you get to hear both political bents, if you will, so that after hanging out with your show, they could kind of say, oh, there's some good points from the left, some good points from the right. Here's how I think I'm going to be able to combine two different sets of views into having my own political persuasion?
I believe there's another show on IPM that would be able to help you with that.
Okay.
From our perspective, what we're doing is now for the election announcements. That is absolutely a matter of simply saying there's an election, and we don't go into sides and we don't go into promoting particular candidates. But we do. So I mean, that's just there's an election in your town. It's important to vote, even if it's a local election. You got to be aware of what's going on in your own backyard.
Sure.
So please go down and vote. And so that's one thing. Now, for the other content, we have an actual group of people working on the podcast. So there's Tom Myers, who's a comedian from down in Maryland. There's Paul Landers, who's out in California. William Ham, he's from Oregon. I'm in New York. We have a young lady, Kayla Avery, who's a comedian from Massachusetts. So we have a group of folks from all over the country, and that's not all of them. I only mentioned a few. But we do, actually, right now is our meeting. We have a weekly general meeting of the podcast folks that happens on Sunday at 7 o'clock when your very show is on. So
please tell them all we said hello.
I'll be happy to. We have sort of a teleconference going on, and we plan things out. We figure out what's going on, who's doing what, how we're going to divvy up once a sketch is put together, we divvy up the roles. We do put an effort into it to try to do the best show we can.
So there's a lot of pre-production that goes into it, Matt.
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool.
Busy. Yeah.
Like I said, it's a pleasure to meet you and hear a little bit about how you do it, because I can't get my guys on the phone for a conference call to save the life of me, right? So for me, it's just like, all right, 3, 2, what the heck are we going to talk about tonight? And then I just make crap up as I go along, right? Go, how do you know that? I don't know. I'm not really sure why that came to me, but I just, a lot of stream of consciousness stuff, Matt, I would think. Matt Connarton, what do you think about his show?
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive to me, too, anything that does use a lot of pre-production. My show, Matt Connarton Unleashed, I'm on weekdays 4 to 6, and I just, it's also very stream of consciousness in the sense that I don't have to do a lot of show prep, because we live in a time when, every day you just go online and you can find things to talk about. So, unless you set out, for me it's easy because I don't have to set out to be funny or to be serious or anything. I just I'm able to operate almost entirely on instinct, because I'm just reacting to whatever is going on that day.
Sure.
But a show like PolitiPod, like what Matt's doing, you have to be funny. It's a funny show, so that obviously takes a lot of work, because being funny, it is not something that you can just do. I mean, yeah, some people are naturally funny, but to be able to do really sophisticated comedy about politics takes work, and it takes a lot of planning, and so I can only imagine how much work it must be to put together a show like PolitiPod, and to do it, every I guess every few weeks now there's a new episode. It's not a new episode every week, but obviously that would be a really intense workload to try to do that every week, right, Matt?
Absolutely true. Yeah, and actually, when we initially when we started, we were actually a monthly, and we've whittled our way down to every 2 weeks, and perhaps one day we'll once we get the big sponsor in and we can afford to focus on that alone, then maybe it'll be weekly. But it is a thing where we do a lot of work, and it's also people from all across the country. So doing a live show is a little bit easier if it's something that you are doing with a small team right where you are, and in this case it'd be a little more difficult because we'd have to coordinate between 12 different people, 1 or 2 times So it might be a little trickier for us to do. And I don't know that we're going to be able to reach that level. But we'll keep chugging along here. We're a garage podcast, is what I say, meaning that it's literally something that we all put together in our spare time.
Sure.
That we're able to all contribute a little something to it and get it taken care of.
That's amazing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I can't. Well, and I'll throw in, like, tonight we're talking about doing what we've talked about for the next episode, which will be coming out Tuesday, is a holiday-focused episode.
Okay.
And so we're going to do some sketches on a parody of "It's a Wonderful Life," and do something with Festivus, but put them into political. Have some political characters in there, and see what we can do to get a couple of laughs out of that. And actually, there's about a half dozen, 8 different ideas that we're batting around tonight, but you'll be able to hear what we decided come Tuesday. I'm sorry.
This coming 48 hours from now?
It's actually Wednesday morning at 9:00 on ipmNation Live 2.
Okay, and it's 9 a.m. Eastern, Matt?
That is 9 a.m.
correct, yep.
Eastern, yes.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, Matt, Wednesday is a huge day for me. So I'm going to start it off 9 a.m., taking in my first episode of PolitiPod. Then, because I've been dealing with this whole brain surgery thing, right, Matt? So Wednesday at 1 p.m., I go back to the neurosurgeons, of which I lovingly call Punt the Shunt. I think it's going to be the hashtag for it. But we're having a group meeting, not unlike you're having as soon as you hang up here. Group meeting with the neurologists, the neurosurgeons, I think a parking lot attendant over at the hospital. And we're going to decide if they're going to actually yank this shunt out of me. So 1 p.m. Wednesday, huge on my calendar. Now 9 a.m., I'll add that. And then I was told that Vikings returns for an all-new season Wednesday night. So I'm going to kick off with PolitiPod. It's a huge day. I'm going to have to get like a 6 of Monster. Well, I drink the white Monster. The stuff, no sugar, no carbohydrate. Apparently good for you. I don't think it's affected negatively. When I go to buy it, my wife goes, "Oh, that Monster's going to kill you." No, the brain tumor's going to kill me. Well, the Monster will be easy. But now I'm fired up because I'll listen to Matt's show at 9 a.m. Wednesday, right? Pace back and forth, waiting to get in the car so I can get there early to the doctor's appointment. And then I'll exhale, come back, have some dinner, and get ready. Oh, I'll do All Natural Being at 8 p.m. and then get ready for Vikings. So a huge day, the 28th. Yeah.
That sounds, absolutely. Sounds like an excellent day is what it sounds like.
I think so. Well, Matt, I don't want to hold you from your staff meeting. Thank you for you. And my friend Patricia Costello is going to absolutely love your show. I can't wait. If she doesn't listen already, I'll make sure to refer her at 9 a.m., the 28th. And I wish you all the best. I'll be listening. Thank you for taking time out. Again, I say from your staff meeting. And please tell everyone we said hello.
Santa, I'd be happy to do it. And thank you so much. We'll chat another time.
I look forward to it,
Matt.
my friend. Matt, anything you want to add?
No, just I know this was very last minute, so Matt, thank you for calling in.
Absolutely, and thank you for the opportunity. We'll catch up again.
Sounds good. Thanks
All right,
so much,
take care.
Matt. Good luck Wednesday morning.
Bye. You got it.
All right. Matt, that was great.
Yeah.
I got to tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have a good crew.
That is well, that's the point of doing this, right? That's the point of, what are we calling this thing again? A sneak speak?
Yes.
That's the point of sneak speak. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that PolitiPod put that much, elbow grease into getting a show out and everything else. I can't wait now for Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Going to be on my calendar.
I should mention too for people who want to listen to previous episodes, we do archive the show at ipmNation.com/PolitiPod. And if you don't know how to spell PolitiPod, it actually is spelled exactly the way it sounds. All the shows are archived right there.
Very cool. And then, Matt, what do you got going on this week? I know, and then we should kind of talk about, in terms of throwing it up here in the thread, I think right now, the thread is probably you and me. But as we get ready to build this, right, this sneak speak, should we go 30 minutes? Should we, maybe as it grows in popularity, we look at an hour? But what would you think Sunday evenings? We'll kick it off with a half hour. Next Sunday, we're going to have you here on a split screen.
Yeah.
So you just won't have to look at my mug the whole time, but we'll have you in here. And so we'll go for 30 minutes for the opening shows and then see how it goes. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about your show, what you got going on this week, so that I can make sure we all put that on our calendars as well.
Sure. Yeah, Matt Connarton Unleashed. I'm on weekdays, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
You can hear the show on ipmNation 1. I actually do the show from WMNH 95.3 right here in Manchester, which is where I am currently. But obviously we stream it online on ipmNation, as well as on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page.
Very nice.
Mostly political, although we do get into some other stuff, and we try to keep it fun and irreverent. And
it is always that, brother. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
It is always that. Fun and irreverent.
Yes, and I've gotten in trouble a little bit with it, but that's okay.
That's what I love about you. That's what I dig about you.
Yes, thank you. So so that's a great time, and I recommend it. And I'm an independent, so I kind of get along with everybody, but I kind of like to give everybody a hard time as well.
Yeah, no, I know that about you. And I will have to tell you that as I get a little older and I realize all the different things that are going on, all the things I see going on around me,
yeah,
I tend to be just anti-politician. When people say, oh, well, do you vote more for the left or more for the right? I'm not really sure I trust any of them anymore.
Yeah. Well, I know.
And the sophistry has just become so much of late. I can't. I don't know. I got to tell you, brother, I call them public siphons, not public servants.
Yes.
Right? So
Right.
for me, I'm looking forward to PolitiPod, as I always look forward to your show. What is wrong with me? I'm telling you, I don't think my brain is fully ready to be dealing with full spinal fluid again. I think it is. I don't know, but we're going to know Wednesday for sure.
Hopefully on Wednesday it's working well.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to be on my best behavior. I'm going to shave, take a shower, brush my teeth, all that. Well, I'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
So I'll sit up straight when the doctor walks into the room. That kind of thing. That's part of my private strategy. All right, man.
Yeah.
So what else do we have here? I know we got PolitiPod. I know we have your show. Oh, we have Thinking Re-Envisioned that's just starting out with Henry G. Noel. That's on ipmNation 3, which we call ipmNation TR Now. What are some of the other things you got going on?
Let's see. You know what I should do is I should look at right on the homepage of the site, of course, at ipmNation.com, and this does get updated daily. Doesn't always change from one day to the next, but our ipmNation top 10, and let's see. Of course, your show is always number one, Brian. And
thank you very much.
I am currently number 2. We also have the morning show with Peter White is currently at number 3, and you can hear that every morning from 7 to 9 a.m. on ipmNation 1, and that actually broadcasts out of WMNH as well, just like my show does.
Oh, I see how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, has he ever made a bribe in the elevator? Does this radio station even have an elevator? Would you like to go to your mailbox and there's like an envelope with like 20s in it? And go, hey.
There is an elevator, but Peter is not a politician, so he's never resorted to any kind of malfeasance.
Bribe. There's an elevator. So There's more than 2 floors in this place?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's more than 2 floors in the building. Let's put it that way.
But the elevator only goes to the 2nd floor? I know what that's like.
Right.
An elevator that doesn't go all the way to the top floor? Yeah, that's my life, brother.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my psych
But,
eval. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. What you got next in the top 10?
Is next, Henry's show, which has been doing very well.
Thinking Re-Envision. It's a great show. I like that.
Yep. We've got the Hustle Report, hosted by my good friend DZ the Gift, which is a weekly hip-hop show, which is fantastic.
Ooh.
Yeah. Rob and Slim, which is live Wednesdays from 6 to 9:30 p.m. on ipmNation 2, which is comedy. Those guys do, even though it's on in the evening, they do kind of a morning-style radio show, kind of similar to what you might hear on satellite radio. You know, it's uncensored and irreverent, and not for those with delicate ears.
Right.
But,
for those of us
very
that
funny.
are allergic to triggers, or that kind of thing.
Exactly. Then we've got Defenders of American Exceptionalism, which is as you can probably tell from the title, kind of a conservative political talk show.
Oh, there you go.
Those guys do a great job. Dr. John's Neighborhood. I know you've talked to Dr. John. Dr. John
I have.
Rich.
Very busy guy.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. At number 9 currently is PolitiPod. Of course, we just talked to Matt Nisenoff. And rounding out the current top 10 is Slicko's World, which is another hip-hop show. Slicko's another really good friend of mine. In fact, I've shared the stage with him a few times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. So then what we could do, and, Matt is a part of what Sneak Speak is going to be. Not only can we invite other people to come on and talk about it, but maybe they come on and do a riff. They could do a little bit of stand-up if that's what they're working on, or a song that they want to, if they want a focus group.
Oh, yeah.
They could come right on and perform it on air, and then that'll be a part of our Sneak Speak.
Absolutely.
All right, very cool.
I mean,
and I know we're working on some great graphics and all kinds of other things, and by working on it, that means I got to talk to Wayne and Matt and learn how to incorporate those things. But we're working on it, right? Cracker Jack staff here at All Natural Being.
Yes, indeed.
Well, thank you, brother. And what else is going on this particular week? We got a couple minutes before we let you go, so we'll let you go at the bottom of the hour. What are some of the other things you're working on? I love the new website, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're always trying to improve the site. We always have a lot going on, so it's important that the site kind of reflects that, and and gives people plenty of you really want it to be kind of a destination, right? You want it to be like a media destination where people want to go every day. What's new at ipmNation? And so we always want to have plenty of new content, plenty of new fun things to look at, and eye candy and all that. We've got a million different things we're working on, and I'm excited about.
Matt, I have to laugh. When you say eye candy. We got to work on the new logo for All Natural Being. Not that I'm complaining. I love you guys. Thank you for that. But if you're looking for eye candy, I think the old, bald, white guy's headshot is...
That's a great pick.
Probably the exact opposite of eye candy. So maybe we should think of something else other than my mugshot to have.
Oh, you
because
mean
I've gone on there
10?
before and go... Pardon me?
You mean in the top 10, at the top of the top 10 list there?
Yeah, maybe I should get a pictures because people think, oh my, who works at this station? It's like an old white bald guy. It's like with a garden hose sticking out of his head. I have an actual garden hose too that I use now. Right? So when people go, well, what does the shunt mean to you? What does it feel? Well, it feels like I look just like this, except this end they buried in my stomach. So if you want a headshot, but I think that headshot may be pre-shunt. Now that I think about it.
Oh, it is.
All right,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is that pre-shunt? Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, the hell with you then. Leave it there. All right.
I think it's a great pick.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And as always, Matt, thank you for everything you do. You really, I mean, in terms of helping me understanding all these things, thank you so very much for everything that you do. And as I promised, at the bottom of the hour, we'll let you go, and we will work really hard this week. So next Sunday's version of Sneak Speak, you're going to know exactly what's going on here at ipmNation.com. Matt, I'll have you toss it to commercial for us.
Okay. Brian, you didn't
Nothing like
plug
putting you on
your
the
show,
spot. Yeah, show's over, brother.
though. Oh, did you already disconnect?
No, I'm waiting for you
No, I
to
was
toss the commercial.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just saying you didn't plug your show though. You're live at 8.
Oh, yeah, I'm live. Oh, sorry. Thank you, brother. See, this radio thing, it's new to me. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern. All Natural Being. I'll kick off the top of the 8 o'clock hour on ipmnation.com/TR now. Transitional Radio Now. At the bottom of the hour will be Henry G. Noel for Thinking Re-envisioned. Matt, thank you so very much. I'll look forward to
Thank
catching
you.
up with you this week, and we'll get ready for, now that we've talked to Matt at PolitiPod, and he goes all into these pre-production meetings, and he's got a nationwide staff and this and that. We should have a conference call, you and me.
I know. I feel like a slacker now.
I do too. He sounds like a really sharp guy too. All right, we'll get out of here. And this is where we will normally cue the really cool music that Matt and I are working on for Sneak Speak. Just imagine you're listening to that music right now. All right. Sounds good. All right, Matt, we're out of here. See you, brother.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Bye, everybody.
Bye now.